Okay, so it was raining too much outside. That is what currently is going on. We have pretty early, but I don't want to disclose it because I want to keep it consistent. Note, we have before 2 a.m. I'm actually going to disclose it because it's kind of part of the thing. Woke up at about, I think, 1:20. Woke up automatically because I had too much slime in my throat, which I don't know what condition that is, but I have that condition for quite a lot. Could be long COVID, whatever. It really sometimes makes me like, and I have to spit it out. So that is what's going on, and I wanted to talk about, is it even like, because outside you can speak loud, even when it's night, right? But like inside, do you even have the ability to live, to have your own schedule? Because, people could say, oh my God, you cannot be that loud, at the night. It's like, yeah, you can do focused work, but what is focused work? For me, is focused and giving commands is by speaking. That is how humans have always given commands and worked. Working on your computer and a laptop is old school, okay? Nobody wants to fucking sit down and type some things. AI is here, okay? You just say whisper, hey, can you do this for me? Da-da-da. That's how you do it nowadays. And so, giving commands to the AI, giving commands to humans, if you are the one that is actually just acting out commands from other people, you are the pursuer, you are the fulfiller of the dream, you are the executor, then you are not part of the spectrum that will win, okay? So it's definitely an interesting conversation, because I like giving command. I think working is voice, working is speaking. And let me just switch. How do you guys like the setup for indoors? Let me see if I can get it on here, placed on here. Let me see if I can put this a little bit like this. Okay, something also that's just interesting, which is basically going on soon, is I think it's worth mentioning. It's Clavicular live stream, okay? And this guy, it's interesting what he's doing. I'm always saying, people are so like, oh my God, he's gonna be live streaming, whatever. Do it yourself, okay? Like, do what he's doing. And just copy it. It's not that hard. And see so many people. Obviously it's gonna be interesting to watch. Let's go on camera here. I would just talk a little bit. My camera actually forgot to charge it. So yeah, can you even have your own schedule in your apartment? Because voice is command, voice is working, and also like, you don't have your own life. You don't really have your own life in apartments. I think the time. I don't know, why is this. Why the shit look is so like, this is an Air. No, this is MacBook Pro 13. I think the MacBook Air M4, which is what I'm probably gonna get, is a little bit lighter, like 120 grams or whatever. So it's still kind of heavy. So I hope the rain stops. I hope I'm able to go outside and everything, because I don't know. I think I'm able to make this my new schedule because I have pain anyways. The spine pain that I have is constant, and that makes me able to have a new pain tolerance, which basically means, let me explain to you. Which basically means that I'm able to go through the pain of waking up early, whatever it is. I don't have any, like, I don't wake up often and I'm like, I've slept good, I've had a great night's sleep and stuff like that. So that makes me able to just function at any time, because as I said in other videos, it doesn't matter if it's morning, evening, or lunch. There's pain, and I'll not just be painless. And so the times of the day really feel similar because they don't change technically. I hope there's no mosquitoes. I'm probably gonna close it for like a little bit. I don't want them to just fly. What I'm also doing is I'm playing the sounds on my laptop at night, and it's mostly 528 hertz frequencies for deep sleep, and I think that could help. I think that is helping me, and I think I fell asleep quicker because of that, and I would recommend. I totally would recommend. Do we have a few things to talk about? I mean, obviously we could talk about the Iran conflict and stuff like that, but are we really the person to judge? Okay, are we really the person to describe? What I could say is just throw around kind of some opinions that other people have, other people with more knowledge have set into the world. And so 17%, the battery of this camera just so kind of like a small, like a fast decline actually, which is interesting, Sleep and pain right now. We can read a little bit, I guess. Read a little bit. I'm gonna read actually one page. Kaiser Na does that. So what I have here is a Vietnamese book. It's The Sorrow of War. I have other books here, but they are in Vietnamese, and Vietnamese books are tend to be 50% more cheaper, like more affordable, which is why this one was like 12 bucks. The other ones were like $5. So I don't know what I thought when I bought books. I thought I was like gonna be reading a lot now, but I think, where was I? I think here, 52. So I don't know if I can describe all the things, but I'm trying to, obviously go, if you don't understand what I'm doing here, I'm trying to go deep, trying to make myself focused. So and I don't know, I don't care what the neighbors, I'm just talking in a normal manner. I'm actually talking pretty quiet. So let's start here. It was in summer 5 years ago that totally by chance, on a lovely warm day, what was a reflection? It was in oh my god, I'm actually stuttering. It was in summer 5 years ago that totally by chance, on a lovely warm day, he had stopped by the Nam Township. Okay, interesting. Like when I was reading and starting reading, I was like wondering about like words, and I was like, no way, and like I started wondering so many things, and then I couldn't really read, and I was so slow reading, whatever. It was in summer 5 years ago that totally by chance, on a lovely warm day, he had stopped by the Nam Township, and from there he went on to revisit Doi Mo, a tiny ancient hamlet where 20 years earlier his newly formed battalion had been based and had trained for 3 months, while awaiting transportation to the front called Long Bi. The landscape looked... oh my god. Sorry. My bad. The landscape looked to Kien as though it had been forgotten by time. The pine plantations, the myrtles, grassy slopes and eucalyptus, and this desolate and gloomy lines between. That's why reading is important. Between fields were exactly as he remembered them as a young recruit. The houses were scattered about as he had remembered them. I can't even see anything. One on each small hilltop, and each as dull and unimaginative as before. With no particular plan in mind, Kien left the only road through the hamlet and turned down a dirt track almost overgrown by grass. He knew the track led to Mother's Land's... oh my god, He knew the track led to Motherland's house. She had been She had been godmother to the many young recruits. Godmother? What a word. Oh my god, no. She had been godmother to the many young recruits, especially his own three-man special team. The house was still there, looking exactly as he had seen on the day he left. Earthen wall, thatched roof, kitchen at the rear, facing onto an overgrown small garden. Near a flight of steps, almost obscured by wildflowers and shrubs, was the same old well with its windlass. Godmother Lan had died, so now it would be Lan, her youngest daughter, who lived there. When Lan opened the door and stepped outside, she recognized Kian immediately. She even remembered his platoon nickname, Sorrowful Spirit. Kian had forgotten everything about her. In those days, I was just 13 years old. I still called you uncle. And we girls of the backwoods have always been shy and unattractive. She added in self-depreciation. But what Kian saw before him, now 20 years later, was an intelligent woman, quietly attractive, with mistily sad eyes. Tears welled up in those sad eyes when Kian told her that the other two in the three-man squad who had stayed with Lan's mother had been killed on a battlefield. What a cruel time, she said, and so very long. The war swept away so many people, so many new recruits used to be based in my house. They used to call my mother their mother, and called me young sister. What of all of them? Only you have returned. My two brothers, my classmates, and my husband too, were all younger than you, and joined up years later than you, but none of them had returned. From so many, there's only you left, Kian, just you. She went with him to pay tribute to her mother. Kian burned incense sticks and bent his head in prayer for some time, letting the painful memory of those days drop through his temples while he cried in vain to conjure up the image of the godmother's face. The last rays of the sun were slanting over the long grasses, now tinged pink in the sunset. She began speaking quietly. If people had been patient in those days and let parents know of their sons dead, one at a time, my mother would still be alive today. But in the first week of peace, the bureaucrats wanted to speed up the delivery of bad news, to get it out of the way quickly. My mother was here one fateful morning when an official arrived. Bringing a death certificate for my brother, her first son. She took the news badly, although she had feared and expected it. She was buoyed only by the expectation of her second son coming home soon. But a few hours later, another courier arrived with a second death certificate, telling her my other brother, her second son, had also been killed. Mother collapsed in a faint, then lapsed into a coma. She hung on for 3 days without uttering another word, then died. Kian stared down at Lan's tombstone, noticing for the first time a second, much smaller grave alongside it. Lan said quietly, "My son, he was almost 8 pounds when he was born, but he only lived 2 days. His name was Viet. My husband was one of the Tate tribe, far from his province of Hadian. He had been based here for less than 1 month. So there was not even time to complete the formal wedding ceremony. 6 months after he left, I got a letter, but not from him. It was from one of his friends, writing to tell me he had been killed on the way into Laos. I'm sure that's why our baby faded fast and died. He had no will to live." They rose and slowly walked down to the house. So that's the short story of my life. First my brothers, then my mother's, then my husband, then my son. No wonder I feel a little weaker every year. I live in this shell of loneliness, going from house to hill, hill to house, and around the hamlet, with no one paying one attention to me, not noticing others. By a strange quirk of a fate, my husband was the last unit based here. After his group left, no others come. Okay, whatever. Okay, interesting. So we just read a little bit. I think it's quite beneficial for focus. There's so many things that I could work on right now. The main thing that I really want to work on is like, what is truly work? Okay, what is truly something that would actually get you to a new level, to get you to something that you feel is worthy, you feel is enough. if you're obsessed with your work, you never stop working. And it's like, oh my god, am I gonna have a 4-hour work week, whatever, la la la. It's like, okay, like, do you have a goal? Do you have an ambition? Like, what even is the fucking goal? 4-hour work week. Okay, what are you gonna do the rest of your day? Fucking sipping matcha lattes or what? You know, like, you have to have a mission. You have to kind of be driven. And when you're like doing the 4-hour, 5-hour work week, it's like, okay, yeah, but what is work? What was work in the first place? Was it slavery? Was it like doing your dishes? Was it like laundry? Okay, work is not supposed to be something that you admire. Work is something that comes truly natural, and I think if you truly believe in your work and if you're doing something that is beneficial and just feels like your purpose, there is no real reason. And also, I've just noticed this frequency here actually makes it easier for me to speak and to kind of, I think, be around, be into the frequencies. So yeah, I think with the work week and everything, I want to go more deeper into the Shortman Work Club, which I'm building, and I think there's a few things which I can do, and one of the things is obviously planning, and I think network is everything in that sense, because you need people that inspire other people, and business is made by, you can have all these flyers, you can automation. Okay, what is that automation? Okay, what is it? Basically, it's just a screen telling, bup, 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 please buy the course, please buy us, please join, please da. Okay, those people don't know you. They maybe subscribe to the newsletter, whatever. Okay, that is not something tied to you, but you can also create the world, and I think creating the world right now is really important for me. So the work I'm probably, and what I could probably do is create more marketing, create more automation, like automatic branding, which means flyers, sites, landing pages, things to own, things to work on. And I think having providers like websites, something like that, which I have the website shortmanworkclub.com, which I'm not proud of, whatever. It doesn't really, I don't give a fuck, also, like, what time is it in the US? Probably like 2 a.m. now, whatever time it is. The stores, I want to check the MacBook Air again. 6 hours they're open. Also, like, first drinking, like the first things where I can basically buy. No real like food store or whatever is open. I'm not hungry, by the way, but just talking about that. I'm just explaining that most of the things are not open. I could do a little bit of piano practice, but also probably too loud. I could not write a song right now, it's too loud. I could make some beats with the headphones, obviously, but making beats doesn't really signify anything right now, in the moment of time. There's so many good producers, so many good musicians. I see so much music that is just, miles better than what I can produce right now. So does it make sense to produce? No, it doesn't really make sense in the big world. Shortman Work Club is my leverage right now. And I think, I have a story on Facebook, and this song has been stuck here. Na 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 na. I love trolling people, and I think I used to be very like, oh, I cannot troll people and I'm gonna be so reactive to their response. For example, posting a story that somebody, referred to somebody. But now it's just you have to post and you have to go offline and you have to be like, I don't care, okay? I don't care, I have my own shit and my own life is just sideways. And building networks. I really want a network. I want a long-term network that stays. And Subpro, I'm just not scared of the future, but I just want to protect myself from the future. Protect myself from what is uncertain, because we want to, that's the most dangerous thing, imagine not having, a big network when you're 30. Imagine not having built anything. Imagine not, having any memory. Imagine all those things. And I think I'm prepared in that way. And if you have any inspiration, any ideas, and if there's any people that are older than me, I always listen to older people, right? Very important. I think they have a lot to tell. And I think that's enough. 20 minutes of talk, a little bit. probably gonna do some deep work, maybe gonna document it, maybe not. And yes, sitting here right now, want to become more self-aware. I think I'm still a little bit occupied by dopamine and those things, but it's fine. So yeah.